This is the Encased Jackrabbit 5000. It is a portable charger for your cell phone. I received this from the Amazon Vine Voices review program for free to review. They have not paid me for my review, and my opinions are my own. Alright, so in the box you have a small USB-A to USB-C charging cable and the actual power bank itself. So, given the form factor, my assumption is this has a single 18650 lithium-ion battery cell inside of it, a little bit of electronics on the top, and it plugs into the bottom of your cell phone here. It has here the Type-C plug-in for recharging, and there's also a little stand-like thing here. So apparently you might be able to stand your phone up while charging, and it has a rubber cap that folds down like so on the top of this thing here to keep dust out. There does not appear to be any button or any way to trigger the lights to light up to show how charged it is, so I'm going to plug it into my phone and see what happens. So we have 4 lights. It is charging. It is not charging rapidly, so it doesn't have the USB-C power delivery where it can ramp up the volts and the amps, but it is charging my phone right now, and it appears, according to the 4 lights, it is fully charged from the factory. Okay, I have this guy plugged in through my digital tester. It's giving me 5 volts at 1.3 amps, and right now it's transferring 6.8 watts. My cell phone is about 70% charged. I think it's 78% charged, so my cell phone may not be drawing the full power it could if it was down at 30 or 40%, but it looks like this guy is, at least 6 or 7 watts of power for charging power. Alright, this little guy folds out. It snaps in place closed. When it's out, there's nothing really that seems to hold it out other than friction. So on this slick wooden table, it just closes and would not hold my phone up. Now, if it was iron cloth, it might hold the phone up at an angle here. It wiggles a little bit around in the bottom of the phone. Might be because my phone socket's a little bit loose, but basically you can have this guy here, and if you put your phone down with this, it's, holding the back of your phone up by that, and there's a gap underneath your phone here. Alright, I plugged this in. It's plugged into a USB-C power delivery plug, and I'm going to charge it up until it stops flashing, and that will give us a baseline fully charged amount in it, and then we'll test and see how much power comes out of it. Okay, this guy's fully charged. We're going to draw it down with a load tester. Alright, I tried drawing 3 amps, and it shut itself down, so now we're going to try it at 2 amps. Okay, it is providing 4.9 or 5 volts at 2.0 amps, 10 watts. So it looks like this guy is able to provide 2 amps, no problem. I'm going to ramp this up to 2.5. Alright, so there's 2.5 amps. Here's 2.75 amps. That's 12 watts. Alright, we're down to 4.1 volts here. So at 2.9 amps, it's able to provide 12 watts of power, but the voltage is sagging quite a bit. I suspect if it goes much higher, it's going to hit a low voltage cutoff. I don't want it to hit a low voltage cutoff before it pretty much discharges itself fully, so I'm going to go down. So at 2.5 amps, it's 4.6 volts. And it looks like just right at the 2 amp level, 2.1 amps, it's able to maintain the pretty much 5 volts there. So I would say this guy is pretty much rated at a 2 amp draw, because at 2 amps it can maintain 4.92 volts. So we're going to discharge it this way. We'll see how much power goes out, and then we'll measure how much power it takes to recharge it back up. Alright, I've reset the milliamp hour display here, and it's counting up.
We're flashing on the last dot here. So far it's transferred 11 watt hours, which is 2.2 amp hours, or 2274 milliamp hours.
Alright, looks like I caught it right at the end because it just shut down. Alright, this guy is warm to the touch, so it definitely had power coming out of it. Alright, we're charging this guy back up. It's drawing 5 volts, and we're currently charging at just about 2 amps. Okay, so in the back of this guy, it says it has a capacity of 14.8 watt hours. It was able to discharge 11 watt hours, or about 2.2 amp hours at 5 volts. And when I recharged it, it took 17 watt hours to recharge it. So there's obviously losses in the charging and discharging. But I'd say this is, you know, reasonably close to its specification here. So it's pretty typical to get about 70% of your rated battery capacity out as actual charging capacity after it goes through the voltage step up from the 3.7 volt cell to the 5 volt USB. So, you know, this is basically an single 18650 cell charger. It has a pretty decent amount of capacity there. You know, it's probably maybe a 3,000 milliamp hour cell in there, and so it's reasonable capacity for this size.